Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of WORDBASED, where I share my revelation of the Bible, trying by all means to base it on the word. Get it? Word-based? Okay, it's fine. I hope you enjoy it. Notepads out, pens out, let's indulge. Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video of WORDBASED. I am your host, Posa, and I'm so pleased to have you guys here. It is really a blessing to have you guys here. Please do subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay, thank you. Welcome back to WORDBASED, guys. I'm so excited to have you. Today's word, as you've seen by the heading, is trusting in the Lord. Okay, I think during last week I was listening to a song, and it's New Wine by Hillsong, and not the first line, but the first verse, there's a line that says, "When I trust you, I don't need to understand." And that just blew my mind. And thinking about it, the previous weeks, I don't know when was it, but we had a night prayer at church, and the pastor was speaking about new wine, and I was like, yo, it's so fresh. I need to listen to it. It's the beginning of the year. I need to go and listen to it, right? And I went, and the song, when he said new wine, it reminded me of the song, so I had to go and listen to the song. And the song was just saying that, for me, it was just saying that when I trust you, I don't need to understand. Make me a vessel, right? Make me this container that you can fill up. And I was just like, oh my god, I just need to share about this, right? I just need to share with you guys this word. I did write some notes. Well, I do write notes, I just never use them, so I do have them now. And when you trust in God, you don't need to have questions. You don't need to have understanding. You don't need to know his ways of doing things, right? Already we know that how God moves is so unlike us. He moves in different ways. He does things that we don't know, right? His way of thinking is never like ours. This line reminded me of if my dad calls me and says, "Tseho, start packing, we are going to Durban," right? Believe me or not, I'm just gonna start packing. I have questions, just not like deep questions. I wouldn't ask him, what are we going to eat? I wouldn't ask him where we're going to stay. Have you paid for the hotel? Have you booked this? Have you figured out food? Do you have money for food or petrol? Or, all I'm gonna do is just pack my bags, sit in the back seat, keep quiet, and enjoy the road trip. Because I trust him, and I know he's a sensible person to think about all of those things before coming to me. So it's not really in me to ask him, are we gonna eat? Are we not gonna eat? What are we gonna eat? Where are we going? Right? Are the tires okay? The car tires, are they well? Right? Those are things he checks before he comes to me. So when he comes to me, he has already figured things out. Him coming to me, that's the last process of things. That's the last step that he has to do, just telling us that we are going. Right? But the first thing he does is check the prices, check where we're going, check, and that's the same with God. He comes with you and tells you need to start this, and you look around you and like, but I don't have resources, but this does not make sense. How am I going to start this if I don't have anyone to talk to, if I don't have anyone to help me, right? And he says, start it. Whatever happens, you don't need to even understand where you're going to get anything. You don't even have to make sense out of it. Let's read Proverbs 3 verse 5, right? It says, I have it here. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. You just buckle up and go. You are not going to understand anything. Your heart is vulnerable right now. It means that you need to understand that the level of trust that God needs from you needs you to be vulnerable, needs you to be open. If a needle touches you at that point, understand that you're messed up. Understand that it's not going to be okay with you. Like, you're going to be hurt because you trust him with your whole heart. But if you trust him half-heartedly because you're thinking, no, let me have a backup plan. No, let me, think about a way out. It means that you don't trust God. It means that you think that he's going to fail you. Already you're thinking of failure before it even happens because you want to have a backup plan. And that's not trust. That's not trust. If you're already having a backup plan, it means that you barely trust God. It means that you think that he's going to make a mistake. And that is us undermining God to our mindset, to being a man. God is not a man. He does not make a mistake. He does not go out of way. He does not. He's not a mistake making God. He's so big that he would make a mistake. That's so unlike him. And the fact that you want to correct him, you want to know what he thinks and what he wants, you want to understand how he thinks, it means that you also want to have an opinion in God's plan. You also want to include your opinion, and you think that it will be valuable. You think, I'm trying to say it in the right way. You think that God has aspects that he hasn't looked into when it regards the project of your life. You think there's a part that he forgot about. You think there's the part that we think that God has a heavy schedule. We think that God is a human being. He's not. I think if we understand how big he is, then we will understand what he can do. And everything I'm saying right now is also a reflection to what I am, to what I think of God every day. That's why when I trust you, I don't need to understand. It hit me so much because I also want to understand. On a daily, I'm like, why did that happen? Why? And coming back to what God is saying is that if you trust me, then understanding is exempted. Then questions are not there. You're not supposed to ask me questions. All you gotta do is follow me. Let's read Psalms 118, verse 8. Oh my goodness. It says, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. And this line, I just came up with a line that says, so I'd rather be blind walking with the Lord than seeing but walking with man. And this is because we are all human beings, and you know what human beings do? They change their minds anytime. I change my mind now. You tell me about something, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with you. After 10 minutes, I'm not feeling it, and I just drop you like that. That is a human being. That is man. But with God, he says something and he remains by it. If his plans are to prosper you, definitely you get a prosperous life. But whatever happens in between may not look like prosper, may not look like success, may not look like progress. But you trusting in the Lord will show when you walk with him and you're blind and you don't know where to go. Don't trust in man, but trust in God. Trust in God. Trust in God. Wholeheartedly trust in God. My preferences change at any point. They change at any time. I change on you now. Because my tastes and likes and preferences change all the time. I'm a human being. And I'm allowed. But that does not mean that you need to bring God down or minimize him or underestimate him to be like us. He's not us. He's so far from being us. He's not that type of God. And this shows that literally us trying to understand how he does things, us trying to have an input in what he says or what he has already planned, it shows that we're saying that he doesn't know what he's doing. We don't know the kind of God we're working with. It shows that we are testing waters with God. And the saddest thing, we don't even know our lives. I'd rather we trust in God than act like we trust in him. Because it will show, life will reflect. It will reflect to us that you are not really trusting in God. Because of how fearful you are. You wanting to understand things is because you fear that things are not going to go right. And that just distinguishes that you don't know who God is. It just shows us that you don't know who your God is. You don't know how big he is, how perfect he is. It is really safe to say God is perfect. It is really safe to say God is perfect. And it is up to us. Trusting in God means that you're going to take every burden that you have and rest it upon him. It means that you're going to take every trouble that is coming your way and leave it unto him. Let him sort it. Kirk Franklin song, I just want to be happy. I think that's the one. There's a part where he says that pull up, let him drive. I can't connect it now, but it says pull up, let him drive, and I just love that. I just love it because we are so much on the steering wheel trying to figure out our lives, trying to do it on our own. But the thing is, you're trying to control a car that you don't even know where it's going. The example I made, my dad is driving the car because he knows exactly where we're going. But I don't know. I don't know which side of Durban we're going to. I don't know which hotel we're going to. Like, baby, what am I doing on the steering wheel? And that's us with our own lives. God knows tomorrow, so why not give him the steering wheel to drive us to tomorrow? Let's let him drive. Let's leave him to do it. I feel like we have so much, we don't understand who God is. Maybe let me put it like that. If we probably understood who he is, I think we would rest much more in him. We are so up on our toes, guys, and God wants us to relax. And that's the thing. We think that God is so busy, God is running out of time, God is having a lot on his plate, right? And all he's saying is that give me a chance. See what I got, man. Give me a chance and see what I can do for you. And it's between us. It is for us to stop wanting to do even more. We have done enough. We have done enough, guys. You see, I have went ahead of myself. Psalms 37 verse 5 says, commit your ways to the Lord, trust in him, and he will do this. And that's what I just said, that give him an opportunity. Give God an opportunity. Commit everything unto him. Cast everything unto him and see what he's going to do with it. God knew the problem was coming before you got to the problem. I love the song by Tina Zungu and his son, featuring Spirit of Praise, where they say, the song says that uJesu ngena kuqala, uJesu ngena kuqala enkingeni obungene kuzo, angene linde wena, alindele ukuphakamisa. Okay, uJesu ngena kuqala enkingeni osubungene kuzo, angene alinde wena, alindele ukuphakamisa. And that just says that God gets into the problem, arrives at the problem before you do. By the time you get there, he's ready to take you out and take you to the next level. And we think that when we get into the problem, then it's new, even for God. We think it's a surprise for all of us. And God says, I've been here. All I want is for you to ask for help so that I can take you out of this hole. And thing is, we don't even ask for that help because we don't trust that he can do it. And that's the thing. I love it when he says that it is better to trust in the Lord than to put your confidence, than to put confidence in man, right? What we do is that we trust in a human being. Like I will trust what you say. If you say to me that you're gonna help me pay my fees, let's say you're just a random person and you look like you have money, I'm gonna trust you more that you're gonna pay for my fees. And God is saying, I'll make a plan of how to pay your fees. Go and study. You will see at the end of the year something's gonna come. And then someone comes before and says that I'll pay for your fees. What God has told me that he's gonna pay for my fees, I do not really understand him, but because there's now a visible person that comes to me and says, I'll pay for your fees, I'm gonna go for that person, right? I'll go for that person because I trust in them, because I can see them. So we want to trust because we see, and it's gonna get us into trouble, because with God, actually being a Christian means that you live by the Spirit, you live by things that are not there, and you wait for them to come into truth, to come into visibility, to come into life. And we should allow that. We should allow that so much, guys. We should allow things to come and play presence in our lives. Let us go to Isaiah 12 verse 2. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. And if you trust in God, then worries are not your portion. You cannot be fearful, right? When you trust in God, then you walk boldly. Whether you have or you don't have, you walk with so much confidence. You walk with so much confidence because you know who God is and what He's done for you. You trust in Him. Trust in God. Trust in God. Walk blindly with God. Trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. He will show you measures that you have not calculated as well. He'll show you things that He has never shown anyone before. Because you trust Him and you know what He's capable of doing. And you have seen Him work for you. You have seen Him do things. Well, if He hasn't done anything for you, look at your life. You're alive even today. There are things to be grateful for. So surely you should trust in the Lord. And the fact that we wake up every morning is the reason that you should trust in the Lord, because He keeps His promises. A promise-keeping God He is. And we should understand that God will keep His promises each and every day. So I'm just going to run through the things I've learned, while trusting in God or while preparing this. I've learned that when you trust in the Lord, you cannot have fear. When you trust in the Lord, you don't need to worry. When you trust in the Lord, you don't have to be afraid. When you trust in the Lord, you are vulnerable to Him. You're trusting Him with your whole heart. Your heart is open. You're at a state of being hurt anytime. And that's what He wants you to do. When you trust in the Lord, you cannot have a plan B. It's only His way, and that's it. It's only God's way. And if it's not going to work, I don't know what you're going to do. But He has a plan. And that's exactly what I mean when I say you don't need to understand, because it really means that if He says it, then surely He knows a way out. He knows if izobamba nendlela mafika phambili. He knows if things are going to go south. He knows that. And that does not mean that you guys should change the route you're taking. He exactly wants you to go through that bump. He wants you to get over that obstacle. Allow Him to show you the way. I promise you, His ways are better than our ways. Hence, we should commit our ways to His ways. That's Psalms 37 verse 5. We need to commit our ways to His ways. Not Him committing to our ways because now we want to show Him a better way of doing things. That's because we see with our naked eyes. We see here. I can just see from here to my camera, and that is it. I can't see tomorrow, but He can. So why do I want to drive my own life? So when I trust in the Lord, I cannot be on the steering wheel. This is a chance you to bamboo left, because you trust in the Lord. Let Him drive. Let Him control the car. He knows tomorrow. Where are you driving to when you're driving the car? When you're driving your life? Where are you driving to? Give God a chance. A chance for forever. A chance for forever. So trusting in the Lord means that, Lord, wherever you want me to be, however you want it to be, whenever you want it to be, I am a vessel waiting to be used. I trust you with everything, every idea you bring to my presence, to my attention. Lord, I trust you with this. Resources are lacking, but that is something that has to do with the economics of South Africa. Spiritually, I am there. Spiritually, I've won, I have resources. Spiritually, I'm present. I don't care what the world is doing. I do because I live in it. But technically, God, you have my back. God is bigger than economics, politics. He's bigger than all these things. He's bigger than science. So when I trust him, I really trust the person that is, not even a person, a God that is truthful and powerful and mighty. A glorious God. So I just want you guys to take this and live with it. You know, every day trust in God. I actually need this for myself right now. I need to trust in the Lord. I need to trust in God so much more. You know, God has been doing great things for me, and somehow I'm thinking, what if something bad happens because of how good things are going, right? What if something weird happens? And that just shows that I trust him, but partly, right? And God is saying that, why would I give you happiness so that I could hurt you? And they always say that, they always say that when you're too happy, be assured that something bad is going to happen. But for who? For who? Like, why are we so assured that we cannot be happy? Like, let's be happy and live in the happiness. Why should I be happy and feel guilty? But when things are going south, no one is feeling guilty for me. When things are going bad, I find comfort. I'm like, okay, this is now life. Like, I'm happy when life is going south because it shows that I'm alive. No. Look at what Psalms 112 verse 7 says. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. So we don't fear bad news. So why are we so we are anticipating bad news so badly? Like we are waiting for something bad to come in. If you trust in the Lord, then you're living you are signing up for a stressless life. If a free life, a life of freedom. And it's what the cross was for, to set us free from all of that. That fear, that worry, that stress. We are freed from it, and it is up to us to carry on living the life that we are supposed to live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Become a Negu or a Negu. I really want us to grow, you know, and get to a point that God wants us to go and get to. I really do believe God is taking us somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed. Please do like, comment, and subscribe.